So today we're back working on this '08 Chevrolet 1500 Silverado 4x4. The customer had inadvertently changed the ECM with a used one, and of course that wasn't the problem. The problem was the fuse panel wasn't supplying power to the ECM, and they no longer have the original ECM, so it won't start because of security, and the wrong VIN number is programmed in it. It's also a 4.8 instead of a 5.3, so we're going to use Line Connect to program this ECM. So when you connect from a different IP address as previous, which I'm doing because I'm remote, you have to wait for them to send you an account verification code. So once you get logged in, after you get the verification code, you launch Line Connect, and hopefully it launches. If you're on a slow connection, be patient because this takes quite a while. I'm using the MDI 2 interface. It has to download the software and install the software. I'm actually using my phone as a mobile hotspot because it's just less of a hassle than trying to track somebody down for active internet connection here. Like I said, be patient because it's usually pretty slow to install this, especially if you're on a slow network. So usually what I like to do is to have the original ECM in place and get the VIN number out of it. Now you can manually input it, or you can connect the vehicle and then correct the VIN, which is what I'm going to do. You have to pick the user interface that you're using, which is in this case MDI2, and then click continue. I've got the key on and a battery charger on this thing, and I've got a power supply connected to, it's not an Avalanche, it's a Silverado 4-wheel drive. Accept. And this is the wrong truck, so hopefully it's going to let me correct the VIN number. So click on Service Programming 2. Hopefully this lets me change the VIN before it authorizes it because it uses a VIN slot. Let's click on manually enter vehicle. Chevrolet, model year 2008, vehicle type light duty truck, Silverado. You should have put the VIN in first, I suppose. You gotta use this more than once every 3 months. I'll double check that VIN. Okay, this time we're gonna manually enter the VIN because that didn't work. I had to restart Line Connect. So I did this with the key off, so instead of connecting to the vehicle, I manually entered the VIN, and now it's asking me what model it is, and it's a Silverado, and accept. Recent vehicles. I guess, like I said, I usually have the original ECM in this thing. Dark blue metallic. Yeah, it's extended cab, but this is not dark blue. I wonder if it's been repainted. I'll double check the VIN number again. So it is the correct vehicle. It must have been repainted, this vehicle. Let's put the key on. Replace and reprogram. Click next. If you did it with the wrong VIN, you'd have to go in and buy another VIN license. So we want to do engine control module, and next. Like I said, I usually have the original ECM in to load it. We'll take one of your available VIN slots, proceed. Validating controller. Let's see what this said. Device provider VIN year model mismatch. Whose reported VIN does not match. Of course. Please disconnect the VCI, accept the VIN. No, I want to override. And let's go next. Because that VIN number down in the bottom corner is correct. Okay. Let me read here. So click on the ECM. Why did that pop up? Oh, frickin' ads. Get out of here. Start programming. Downloading the software from the server. Writing to ECU. Let's turn the headlights off. Make sure all the accessories are off. Heater control. To keep the battery from going weak. I've got a battery charger on it. Usually I bring a clean battery charger, but I got a problem with it right now. So I've got just an ordinary battery charger. So this is going to take about 10-15 minutes. So that was a little faster than it said. And if there was other programming you needed to do, okay, I'm going to check out what we have to do now. We'll probably have to do security, passive anti-theft learn. So to continue programming with the same vehicle, scroll down and pick the theft deterrent module. Please ensure that you are selecting the correct answers. There may be options that do not make sense for the current VIN. With RPO 5L5 Canada, I don't know what 5L5 is, but this is Canada. So we'll go with that. Next. So calibration theft deterrent. Oh, I don't know which one of these to pick. For vehicles without remote start. For vehicles with remote start. Okay, good. So it's got to be without remote start. Operating system, vehicles without remote start. Next. So the procedure is vehicle theft deterrent, learn, ECM, PCM, PK3 replaced. Next. Start programming. And I think this is a 10-minute wait as well. Estimated time remaining. Gotta shut the headlights off again. Connecting to vehicle. Oh, it's 12 minutes. So we're down to just a little bit more than 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes. 3 minutes now. While I'm sitting here waiting, I see a bunch of error codes coming up on the dash here. Service traction control, service StabiliTrak. No, that's not because we're in the programming mode. This thing's got other issues. Service airbag, probably got a crash sensor failure. And it's going to say, well, besides the hood open, change engine oil. When you reflash an ECM, you should actually check the oil life remaining prior to reflashing it, provided, of course, you communicate with the original ECM, and then set the oil life reminder back to the same reminder. Otherwise, it's going to end up with, well, potentially 200% oil life. There's no sticker on the windshield, so I have no idea when the oil change was done last. I'll just inform the customer that they need to check their service records. So it says confirmed that it's done. We will see if this thing works now. Now this does give you the option to clear DTCs. Now another thing we have to do after doing this is a crankshaft variation offset relearn. But this software, don't believe, allows you to do that. If I had GDS software, but that only works on 2014s and up. Selected 2011s. So I'll use the snap-on scan tool to do the crankshaft variation relearn. So the moment of truth, cycle to turn the key off, wait 5 seconds. And it runs again. Well, sort of. Stayed running the second time. There's a service airbag message. So we're going to do a network scan with the snap-on scan tool and do a crankshaft variation relearn. So we can put the mileage in now. 494. Oops. 494 225. I don't care about the license plate number. Let's do a network code scan and see what comes up. I'll pick up when we get to the end of this can. So you're not going to be able to clear that P0315 until you do the crankshaft variation relearn. The theft deterrent codes are history, history, history. Front end sensor 1, front end sensor 2. So it probably needs both crash sensors on the rad support. There's one on one side. I think the sensor 1 is on the driver's side, sensor 2 is on the passenger side, but I'm not sure. Temperature control feedback problem, and crankshaft variation relearn. So we're going to do that crankshaft relearn. So that crankshaft relearn is under functional tests and crank variation relearn. Set parking brake, yeah, I'm not putting it on. Lock drive wheels, yeah. Cycle ignition key from off to on. Continue. Apply and hold the brake. Start the engine and idle until 70 degrees Celsius. Alright, we've got to warm up the engine. So I use the bidirectional controls to command the engine RPM up to 17 or 1600. I could go higher than that, go a couple thousand. To help warm up the engine quicker and I don't have to hold my foot on the gas pedal. Doesn't look like it'll go over 1950. No, it won't go to, it only goes to 1950. This is the coolant temperature, I've got to hit 70. So the check engine light is on because of that crank relearn not done. So it should be warm enough now. Exit out. Yeah, nice, stalled. Sometimes if you don't do that crank relearn, it not only will turn on the check engine light, but might indicate false misfires. Apply and hold the brake, 70 Celsius. So make sure the AC is off, which it is. And the next step, you're going to go to wide open throttle. Oh, now I got to put the brake on. Don't recall that. I didn't read the instructions. Let's try it again. Lock the drive wheel, cycle the key off to on. And that's it. As you can see, the check engine light went out. So the next step is to do a network code clear. Clear out codes read by code scan. In most cases, GM lets you do that with it running. Now, if there's active codes like the airbag codes, they're going to come back immediately. So that's it for now. Roughly an hour and a half to do that, between logging in and downloading software. Oh well, thanks for watching. As I said before, under functional tests, you can go into output controls and do an oil life relearn. Where is it here? Oil life reset. And by default it will reset to 100%, but you can also set it to some specific value other than 100%. I'm going to set it for 25% and then tell him, because right now the message is on the dash. Exit. And the only thing that we have now is the service airbag system and the airbag warning light on.